the Stoics mastered one of the most powerful psychological truths: respect is earned, not given. If a woman doesn't respect you, it's because she doesn't see you as a man of value. And here's the brutal truth: once respect is lost, attraction dies with it. A woman who doesn't respect you will act in ways that make you feel small, insignificant, or like you're chasing something that will never be yours. But Stoicism teaches us to see reality as it is, not as we wish it to be. If she doesn't respect you, the signs will be obvious if you're willing to open your eyes. In this video, I'll break down the clear behaviors of a woman who lacks respect for you. If you recognize any of these, it's time to stop chasing, stop hoping, and start respecting yourself. Watch until the end, because understanding this could save you years of wasted time and effort. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your story in the comments if you've experienced this firsthand. Now, let's get into it. Chapter 1. She doesn't care about you. A woman who doesn't respect you won't put in the effort, ever. She won't check in on you, she won't show interest in your life, and she definitely won't make an effort to connect in any meaningful way. Every interaction with her feels forced, like you're putting in all the energy just to get a simple response. You might send a thoughtful message, hoping for a meaningful conversation, but the response you get is a dry, one-word reply, if you even get a reply at all. She doesn't follow up on anything you say. She doesn't ask questions, and worst of all, she doesn't remember anything you've told her about your life, your interests, or even your dreams. It's like you don't matter to her at all. And if you're lucky enough to get her attention, you're made to feel like she's doing you a favor by even acknowledging you. This behavior is incredibly painful because it's so blatantly clear. It's a constant reminder that you're not being valued. You may be waiting for her to show some effort, some sign of warmth, but all you get is cold indifference. Her actions speak louder than any words she could ever say. She's not just showing a lack of interest, she's showing a complete disregard for who you are and what you bring to the table. A woman who truly cares about you, who respects you, would never make you feel like you're chasing after her, struggling for her attention. If she valued you, she would actively show interest. She'd ask about your day. She'd want to know what excites you, what upsets you, what your dreams are. She'd remember the little things that make you unique. But instead, you're left in the dark with nothing but dry, emotionless responses. And here's the cruelest part: she doesn't care. Stoicism teaches us the importance of detachment. It teaches us to recognize what is worth our time and energy and to let go of things that don't serve us. If you're chasing after a woman who doesn't care, you're giving away your power. You're placing your value in something external, something you can't control, and that's a losing game. You can't force someone to care about you, no matter how much effort you put in. The more you chase, the more you're devaluing yourself, trying to earn attention from someone who has already shown you they're not interested. But here's the truth: you deserve better. You deserve someone who wants to get to know you, someone who sees your value and wants to invest in building a real connection. A Stoic man knows his worth. He doesn't waste time on people who don't see it. If a woman isn't putting in any effort, he walks away. He doesn't beg for her attention. He doesn't try to prove himself worthy. He knows that if she truly cared, she'd show it in 100 different ways. So, if you find yourself in a situation where you're constantly chasing after someone who doesn't reciprocate, it's time to take a step back. Stop putting energy into something that's not going anywhere. Let go of the hope that things will change, because the truth is, they probably won't. A woman who respects you won't make you feel like an afterthought. She won't leave you wondering if you matter to her. She will show interest, ask questions, remember the details, and put in effort. If she's not doing that, she's telling you everything you need to know. Stop chasing. Start respecting yourself enough to walk away. You'll never find the respect and care you deserve by constantly chasing someone who doesn't care about you. The moment you stop pursuing someone who isn't interested, you open yourself up to something far better, someone who values you for who you are. A Stoic man doesn't waste his energy on a woman who doesn't care. He walks away, knowing that his worth is far greater than the crumbs she offers. So, remember this, respect yourself enough to let go of anything that doesn't serve you. It's time to move on and find someone who will treat you with the care and attention you deserve. Chapter 2. She ignores your texts and calls while being active on social media. Few behaviors are as blatant and disrespectful as this. You send her a text, nothing. You call, straight to voicemail. You wait, hoping she'll reach out, but there's no response. But then you open Instagram, and there she is, posting stories, liking other people's posts, engaging with the world around her, just not with you. Now, let's get this straight, she's not busy. She's not overwhelmed. She's choosing to ignore you. And in doing so, she's sending you a message that cuts to the core. You're not important enough for her to make the time. This isn't an accident. This isn't a slip-up. She's making a conscious decision to let you linger in uncertainty while she engages with everyone else. She's actively choosing to prioritize everyone but you. And that decision speaks volumes about how she truly feels about you. When a woman makes it clear that she has time for the world, but not for you, the truth is painfully simple: she doesn't respect you. You could make all the excuses in the world for her behavior. You could tell yourself, oh, maybe she's just busy, or maybe she just hasn't seen my message yet. But deep down, you know the reality. If she wanted to talk to you, she would. If she valued you, she would find time to respond. The sad truth is, if she's engaging with everyone else online, but ignoring you, she's showing you exactly where you stand in her priorities. A Stoic man sees the world with clarity. He doesn't waste his energy chasing after anyone who doesn't see his value. He doesn't beg for attention. He doesn't double text, hoping for a reply. He doesn't wait by the phone, praying that she'll eventually realize how much he cares. He understands that attention is earned, not demanded. When a woman chooses to be active on social media, liking posts, commenting on others' photos, or engaging in group chats, yet can't find a second to respond to your text, the message is crystal clear: she doesn't care enough to make you a priority. This behavior isn't about being busy. It's about lack of respect. She's not interested in keeping the connection with you alive. If she were, she would show it. She would engage with you just like she engages with the rest of the world. But if you're the one getting ignored, it's because you're not on her list of priorities. And here's where most men get it wrong: they keep chasing. They keep trying harder, sending more messages, offering more attention, hoping that if they just show enough interest, she'll come around. But that's the exact opposite of what a Stoic man would do. A Stoic man understands that his worth isn't defined by someone else's attention. He doesn't waste his time trying to convince someone to care about him. He has enough respect for himself to walk away from anyone who doesn't prioritize him. You may be thinking, but maybe she just needs time, or she'll come around eventually. But let me tell you something: if she's engaging with the world, but not with you, she's showing you exactly how much she values you. And the answer is clear: not much. No one is too busy to respond to someone they care about. If she's responding to everyone but you, you're simply not a priority in her life. The Stoic man knows this and doesn't waste his time hoping for something that isn't coming. He doesn't settle for crumbs when he deserves a full meal. He doesn't wait for someone to change. He recognizes when a connection isn't mutual and walks away without hesitation. So, what's the solution? Simple. Let her go. If a woman consistently ignores your calls and texts but is active on social media, she's telling you all you need to know. She's making a conscious decision to not prioritize you. A Stoic man walks away from that behavior because he understands that he deserves someone who values him equally. Don't waste your time on someone who can't even take the time to respond. The Stoic approach is clear: move on. Find someone who sees your value, who makes you a priority, and who won't make you question where you stand. Remember, respect is earned, and you should never settle for someone who isn't willing to invest in you as you invest in them. Let her go, and move forward with the strength and clarity of a man who knows his worth. Chapter 3. She only calls when she needs something. She never reaches out just to see how you're doing. She never sends a thoughtful text out of the blue. She never checks in because she genuinely cares about you. But the moment she needs something, suddenly she's the sweetest, most affectionate woman in the world. She asks for a ride. She needs help moving. She needs money. She needs you to fix something, to pick something up, to be there at her convenience. And every time you say yes, because deep down you hope that maybe this time it's different. Maybe this time she actually appreciates you. But let's be brutally honest. She doesn't. She's not interested in you as a man. She's interested in what you can do for her. A woman who values you, who genuinely cares about you, doesn't just show up when she needs a favor. She makes time for you because she enjoys your presence, not because she's looking for a free handyman, a chauffeur, or a financial backup plan. This is one of the most manipulative and disrespectful behaviors a woman can display, and yet many men fall for it over and over again. Why? Because they want to believe that her reaching out means something deeper. They convince themselves that if they help her enough, if they show her how reliable they are, she'll eventually see their worth. But here's the truth: she already sees your worth. She just doesn't respect it. She sees you as useful, not valuable. She sees you as a tool, not a partner. And the worst part? She knows exactly what she's doing. She knows how to play sweet when she needs something. She knows how to make you feel important for just long enough to get what she wants. And the second she gets it, she's gone again, leaving you with nothing but frustration and false hope. The Stoics warned against being controlled by external validation. They taught that a man must control his own desires, his own emotions, and most importantly, his own self-worth. A Stoic man does not beg for attention. He does not allow himself to be used. He does not mistake temporary affection for real connection. A woman who only calls when she needs something doesn't respect you, she uses you. And here's the brutal truth: if you allow it, it's not just her fault, it's yours. If you constantly say yes to a woman who only reaches out when she needs something, you're training her to see you as nothing more than a resource. If you drop everything for her, you're teaching her that she doesn't need to respect you to get what she wants. If you keep hoping that this time will be different, you're ignoring the reality that she will never change. So what's the solution? Say no. Not in anger. Not with bitterness. But with the calm, unwavering confidence of a man who values himself. The first time she reaches out after ignoring you for weeks, say no. The first time she suddenly acts affectionate when she needs a favor, say no. Watch how quickly her attitude shifts. A woman who truly cares about you won't disappear just because you stop being useful. But a woman who was only using you? She'll vanish the second she realizes she can't control you anymore. That's your answer. That's your test. A man with self-respect doesn't wait around for breadcrumbs of affection. He doesn't settle for conditional attention. He doesn't allow himself to be a backup plan when it's convenient for someone else. He walks away from anyone who doesn't see his value without a price tag attached. Because the truth is, a woman who truly wants you will never make you question whether she respects you. She will show it without conditions, without games, and without using you as her personal problem solver. So stop being a man who waits for her to appreciate you. Be a man who demands respect by refusing to settle for anything less. Chapter 4. She never brings you around people she cares about. A woman who truly values you wants to integrate you into her world. She wants the people she cares about, her friends, her family, and her closest confidants, to know who you are. She wants them to see the man she's proud to be with, the man who holds an important place in her life. But if she never brings you around, if you're kept at a distance, if you're hidden away like some secret she doesn't want to share, that's a serious red flag. Think about it. When someone is excited about a new relationship, they want to talk about it. They want to show off the person they're with. They want to introduce you to the people they love because they see a future with you. If she's not doing that, it's because she doesn't see you as someone worth introducing. It's even worse if she does introduce you, but her friends make jokes at your expense, mock you, or treat you like you don't belong. That tells you something very important. They know something you don't. Her friends and family reflect what she tells them about you. If they don't take you seriously, it's because she doesn't take you seriously. If they don't respect you, it's because she doesn't respect you. And when a woman doesn't respect you, she never will. The Stoics emphasized perception, seeing reality for what it is, not what we wish it to be. Many men ignore these signs because they don't want to accept the truth. They make excuses, thinking maybe she's just private, or maybe she's just waiting for the right time. But the truth is simple. If she wanted to bring you into her life, she would. Let's break it down even further. If she never talks about you to her family, if you're a ghost in her social circle, and if you're constantly kept separate from the things that matter to her, it's because she doesn't see you as someone who belongs there. If she keeps you at a distance, she's keeping her options open. She doesn't want to make things official in her world because, deep down, she doesn't see you as a long-term investment. A woman who respects and values you will proudly introduce you to her loved ones. She won't hesitate. She won't hide you. She won't act like you're just some guy she knows. She will want the important people in her life to meet you, to like you, and to welcome you into her world. And if that's not happening, you need to accept the truth and move on. Men who ignore this reality often get trapped in the worst kind of relationship, one where they invest time, energy, and emotions into someone who never saw them as an equal in the first place. They hold on, hoping things will change, hoping that one day she'll decide to take them seriously. But that day never comes. Because respect isn't something you earn by waiting around. It's something a woman either gives you from the start or never gives you at all. The Stoics believed in self-respect above all else. A man who values himself does not chase after someone who does not see his worth. He does not beg for acknowledgement. He does not linger in situations where he is not valued. So ask yourself, are you with a woman who is proud to be with you? If the answer is no, if she's hiding you, if she's keeping you separate from her world, if her friends don't take you seriously, then you already have your answer. She doesn't respect you. And if she doesn't respect you now, she never will. Walk away. Find someone who will never make you question your place in her life. Chapter 5. She's never available for you. She's always busy. She always has an excuse. She cancels plans at the last minute. But somehow, she still manages to make time for her friends, her co-workers, her family, and even random people she just met. The only person she never seems to have time for is you. At first, you tell yourself she's genuinely busy. You convince yourself that she has a lot going on, that her schedule is packed, that maybe she just needs a little more patience and understanding. But as time goes on, a pattern starts to emerge. Whenever you try to see her, she's suddenly overwhelmed with responsibilities. But when it's something she truly wants to do, she finds a way. It's always the same excuse, isn't it? I'm just so swamped at work, I have too many things to juggle right now, or if I've got a lot going on in my personal life. These excuses, though initially understandable, start to feel hollow. You start questioning whether it's really work or if it's simply a lack of interest in you. The truth is becoming clearer by the day. She isn't prioritizing you. Here's the hard truth. When a woman truly likes you, she makes time. It doesn't matter how packed her schedule is, how exhausted she claims to be, or how many things she has on her plate. If she respects you and values your presence in her life, she will make space for you. Period. If she doesn't, she'll keep you waiting. She'll keep you hoping. She'll keep you questioning yourself, wondering if maybe you're the problem. The doubt she plants in your mind is the real manipulation, making you believe you're the one who needs to do more, to be better, to somehow prove your worth. But the problem isn't you. The problem is that she simply doesn't care enough to prioritize you. A Stoic man doesn't waste time chasing someone who doesn't value him. He understands that love, attention, and effort should be mutual. He does not wait around for scraps of affection or cling to false hope that one day she will wake up and suddenly see his worth. Instead, he observes reality for what it is, accepts it without emotional weakness, and moves on. The Stoics never begged for approval, and neither should you. Think about this. Have you ever noticed how quickly people adjust their schedules when they're truly excited about something? If she was interested in a celebrity event, she'd clear her calendar. If her favorite band was in town, she'd move things around. If her friend needed help, she'd show up without hesitation. But when it comes to you, there's always an excuse. You text her, and she takes hours, sometimes days, to respond. But she's active on social media, posting selfies, liking other people's posts, and engaging in conversations online. You ask her to meet up, and she tells you she's too exhausted, but somehow she's out with friends the next night. She's always busy when it's you, but never when it's someone or something else. It's a clear sign she's not making time for you because she doesn't want to. And you deserve better than that. And yet, even when she keeps you at arm's length, she never fully lets you go. She gives just enough attention to keep you hanging on. Maybe she texts you randomly after ignoring you for days. Maybe she throws in a compliment here and there. Maybe she reassures you that she really does like you, but is just going through a lot. That's not affection. That's manipulation. A man with self-respect does not wait for a woman to see his value. He does not linger in uncertainty, hoping she'll change. He recognizes when he is being sidelined and refuses to tolerate it. The Stoics taught that we must accept what is within our control and let go of what isn't. You cannot force someone to care. You cannot make someone value you. What you can do is remove yourself from situations where you are not appreciated. When a woman is truly interested in you, you won't have to question it. You won't have to chase her. You won't have to sit around wondering if she'll ever make time for you. She will make it clear through her actions, not just her words. Her efforts will match hers, and the respect will be mutual. So, if she's always too busy for you, believe her. Take the hint and move on. Because the moment you stop waiting around, the moment you stop giving your energy to someone who refuses to reciprocate, you reclaim your power. And that is something no woman can ignore. When you stop wasting your time on those who don't value you, you set the standard for how you want to be treated, and that will change everything for you. Chapter 6. She talks about other men around you. A woman who truly respects you will be mindful of how she speaks about other men in your presence. She won't casually bring up how attractive, successful, or charming another guy is while you're sitting right there. But if she does, it's never by accident, and it certainly isn't a sign of respect. Women talk about other men around you for one of two reasons, both of which reveal a serious lack of respect. Either way, it's clear that her intentions are not in your best interest. The first reason is simple: she wants to test you. She wants to see if you get jealous, if you react emotionally, if you feel the need to prove yourself. Some women do this as a way to manipulate, playing little psychological games to see how much control they have over you. If she can make you feel insecure just by mentioning another man, she knows she holds power over your emotions. It's a subtle but intentional tactic, like testing the boundaries of what you're willing to tolerate. If she can make you react, she gets to feel like she's in charge. But there's a deeper issue at play here. It's not just about her trying to manipulate you, it's about her testing whether she can dominate your emotions, whether she can make you feel less than. This isn't about mutual respect. It's about control. And a man who values himself doesn't let anyone control his emotional state. The second reason is worse: it's more direct and tells you everything you need to know. She simply doesn't care how it makes you feel. If she's talking about how funny another guy is, how good-looking he is, or how much money he makes, without any concern for how you might take it, she doesn't see you as someone she needs to impress. She sees you as a friend, a placeholder, or someone who is simply there. You're not someone she respects or values deeply, because if you were, she wouldn't be talking like that in front of you. She would be trying to protect your feelings and make you feel appreciated. Instead, she's leaving you vulnerable and exposed. A Stoic man understands his worth. He doesn't let himself get caught up in petty emotional battles or childish games. And most importantly, he never competes for a woman's attention. If she's bringing up other men to test you, you don't take the bait. You don't get defensive, you don't try to prove yourself, and you definitely don't chase harder. You maintain your composure because a man of true value knows that he never has to fight for a woman's respect. It's either there or it isn't. Respect isn't something you earn by constantly chasing after someone who doesn't give it freely. If she's bringing up other men because she doesn't care about how it makes you feel, that's all the proof you need to walk away. This is a woman who has no interest in prioritizing you, no interest in making you feel important or valued. She's showing you exactly where you stand in her life, at the bottom of the priority list. It's harsh, but it's the truth. Respect is one of the core foundations of attraction. A woman who respects you will naturally filter her words. She will want to make you feel important, to make you feel valued, to make you feel like the man in her life. If she's constantly reminding you of other men, she's sending a clear message: you are not the priority. This is where many men make mistakes. Instead of walking away, they try harder. They think that if they prove themselves, if they become funnier, stronger, more successful, she'll start seeing them differently. But that's not how it works. Respect isn't something you beg for. It's not something you earn by trying harder for someone who already doesn't see your worth. A man who values himself knows when to stop giving energy to the wrong woman. If she's making you feel like you're competing for her attention, she's already lost the privilege of having yours. You don't engage, you don't argue, you don't try to match her by bringing up other women, you simply remove yourself from the situation. It's an act of self-respect, and it's the only response that signals you won't tolerate being treated as less than. And here's the best part: when a woman realizes that her tactics don't affect you, that you're completely unmoved by her attempts to make you jealous, she starts seeing you differently. She realizes that you're not like other men who get flustered and insecure. You're solid. You're unshaken. You're a man who won't tolerate disrespect. And that alone makes you far more attractive than any reaction ever could. Your emotional control becomes magnetic because it signals to her that you are self-sufficient, stable, and grounded. The Stoics believed in maintaining emotional control, in never letting external forces dictate your sense of self-worth. Apply that philosophy here. If a woman is talking about other men around you, don't play the game. Walk away with your dignity intact. There's nothing more powerful than a man who refuses to engage in childish emotional manipulation. Because the moment you stop engaging, you reclaim your power. When you stop feeding into the cycle of disrespect, you make it clear to her that you are not someone who will ever be easily moved or manipulated. The moment you take that power back, you elevate your own worth, and that's a message no woman can ignore. Chapter 7. She uses you for free dates and financial support. She's always eager to go out, as long as you're the one paying. She never hesitates to say yes when you offer a nice dinner, a concert ticket, or a weekend getaway. She enjoys spending time with you, but only when there's something in it for her. And when the bill comes, she conveniently looks away, waits for you to handle it, or casually mentions that she forgot her wallet. But here's the real test: stop spending money on her. Stop offering gifts. Stop planning expensive dates. See what happens. If she starts pulling away, if she suddenly seems too busy, if she makes excuses for why she can't meet up anymore, then you have your answer. She was never interested in you, only in what you could provide. A woman like this doesn't respect you. She doesn't value your presence, your thoughts, or your emotions. She values the lifestyle you can offer. She sees you as a resource, a means to an end. And the worst part? She might not even feel guilty about it. She justifies it by telling herself that if you're willing to pay, it must mean you're okay with the arrangement. This is a dangerous mindset to fall into. Many men convince themselves that if they keep giving, keep treating her well, keep paying for everything, she'll eventually see their worth. But that's not how attraction works. A woman who sees you as a financial safety net will never develop real feelings for you. She might string you along, she might act sweet, she might even pretend to care, but the moment you stop spending, she'll vanish without hesitation. Stoicism teaches us to invest only in what brings real value to our lives. If you pour your money, time, and effort into a woman who only takes, you're not being generous, you're being blind. A Stoic man understands that true relationships are built on mutual respect and effort, not financial transactions. If a woman only appreciates you when you're providing something, she's not a partner, she's a leech. A woman who genuinely respects you will never make you feel like you have to buy her affection. She won't expect lavish dates to keep her interested. She won't disappear the moment the money stops flowing. Instead, she'll appreciate the time you spend together, regardless of how much is being spent. A walk in the park, a deep conversation, or a simple home-cooked meal will mean just as much to her as an expensive night out. But a woman who's using you? She won't stick around for that. She'll get bored. She'll lose interest. She'll move on to the next man who's willing to fund her lifestyle. And when that happens, you need to be strong enough to let her go without a second thought. The best way to protect yourself from being used like this is to test the waters early. Don't always pay for everything. See how she reacts when you suggest something simple and low cost. If she still seems excited to spend time with you, she's there for the right reasons. But if she starts making excuses, showing less enthusiasm, or suddenly becoming too busy, then you've just saved yourself a lot of wasted time and money. A man who respects himself doesn't let a woman use him as a meal ticket. He doesn't throw money at someone who gives him nothing in return. He understands that respect and affection should be earned, not bought. And most importantly, he knows when to walk away. If you cut her off and she disappears overnight, you didn't lose anything, you just exposed the truth. Respect is the foundation of attraction. Without it, nothing else matters. If a woman doesn't respect you, it doesn't matter how much you like her, how much effort you put in, or how long you've known her, she will never see you as the man she wants. The Stoics believed that a man's worth isn't defined by how others treat him, but by how he allows others to treat him. If you tolerate disrespect, you invite more of it. So if you see these signs, stop hoping she'll change. She won't. Respect yourself enough to walk away. If you've experienced this, drop a comment below and share your story. Like, subscribe, and remember, a high-value man never begs for respect. He demands it by walking away from those who refuse to give it.